Well, hi there, folks. Welcome back to Mossy Roots Farm. This is our, I don't want to say our last video in the gardening series, because I'm sure I can find more videos, but we're going to talk about potted plants. Now, these are not technically potted because they are in a tire on the dirt, and, well, that's not a pot, but I'll call these potted plants because we've done the tire deal, and it's been really helpful. And I could go into further details if you guys are interested about this. We used to have all these berry bushes in tires so you could mow right up against them and then not have to worry about killing anything. And you want to mow up against your berry bushes because berry bushes sprout like crazy. I don't know if I see any sprouts right now to show you. If I find one, I'll show you guys. But we were getting them into some of our raised beds pretty bad. So we like this so we can mow right up next to them and not kill the plants. And also maintain a clean looking garden, which we are not doing at the current moment, but we need to just get out here and mow. What are you doing, cat? All right, so here's my potted plants. Got some heritage green beans that are massive. They're purple. I think they're dragon's breath. I don't know what they're actually called. Here's some that I was drying out to keep seeds, but that looks terrible. I don't know if I'm gonna want to keep those seeds. Maybe I'll dry up some of the bigger ones and keep those seeds. Because this one's not doing too terrible. And then these are heirloom tomatoes. The reason they're yellow is they're a yellow heirloom tomato. And I'm just doing the same thing with those. I've eaten all the ones I've wanted to eat, so I'm just going to leave the rest of them on there and let them dry out, let them fall, feed the critters, whatever. Doesn't matter to me. And I haven't been watering them either because, well, I'd be okay if they just kind of died out. But, so we're doing this because this was an easy thing to start. This was an easy thing to continue with. And if you actually, like, kept up with it, you know, it wouldn't look nearly this bad. Now, the other cool thing is, okay, so the reason I got the 2 buckets. All right, so these are old maple sap buckets that I just had laying around. Just put potting soil in there, which was a big mistake. And then I put plants in there. You know, I ended up putting too many tomatoes in here. I can only do 1 tomato per pot. Instead of 2, but that's okay. I learned that this year. So I put potting soil in a bucket, drilled some holes, put a coffee filter in the bottom just so that all the dirt wouldn't just fall out. And then I put them on these buckets because my dog likes to pee in the plants. I learned that last year when I wondered why I was getting, well, my plants were watering themselves and there was no rain. So yeah, that's what happened to my plants last year. But I put them on these other buckets to get them up, and it's actually really helped with the tomatoes because, like, look at these tomatoes. These tomatoes are all off the ground. There's not a single one of them that's on the ground, and that's going to allow these to grow and to continue to grow and not end up with all kinds of buggies, because the bugs could technically climb up the plastic buckets if they really wanted to, but they haven't seemed to do that all that often. So I've had really good luck with this. Now this also allows you, let's take this green bean for example. Sorry if this tent is kind of blowing around in the breeze here. But this allows me, let's say I'm going to get a big frost warning, I could take that plant in the house and then not worry about frost. You know, I can just pick it up and take it in and have no issues. I could leave this in my house in a corner somewhere that is getting sunlight, and I could grow my plants in that. You know, I feel like this is one of the easiest ways to start gardening because I literally bought a bag of garden soil mix in a bucket. Now, you don't have to have a fancy bucket. You know, this here is just a Tractor Supply 5-gallon bucket. You know, that would work. Here you go. Let's say you had some old watering cans laying around. If you cut the tops off of it, say you cut the top off of it, there you go. There's you a potting pot. Here you go. This is an old planter for a hanging flower of some kind. Put your stuff in there. You know, I'm sure you can find those at the end of the year at grave sites when there's a lot of folks that are trying to get rid of their stuff. Here you go, another random pot that I have. You know, like if you just look around, you'll have all kinds of stuff that you can use. I could actually use these white buckets if I wanted to. Drill some holes in the bottom of these white buckets. Anyways, so the whole reason I'm doing this is I wanted to show you guys that you can always garden And you can always garden at different levels, and you don't have to have all the fancy stuff that most people claim you got to have to start gardening. You know, this is just a pot, right? These are just pots, and they're just sitting out here at the front. I haven't watered them in a very long time, and I probably should, because these beans are starting to do pretty good. These tomatoes are all kind of dying because of wilt, because I haven't watered them, and that's okay, because they can die at this point. I eat them, and then I get tired of them, and then I'm like, I don't want to eat them anymore. If that makes any sense. But so anyways, I just wanted to show you guys like the low budget version of gardening, if you want to call it that. The gardening for everyone, you know, how to start a garden, whatever you want to say. That's what this is. I love doing this just because it's easy. And look, I have some weeds in here. I'm gonna pull my weeds out. I definitely need to water because that came out a little hard. Boom, weedless. Well, not really, there's still some in there, but you know, like this. Oh look, I see a little weed starting. Peel it out of there. You know, oh look, done, weedless. There's my weeding for the day. That would have taken me maybe a whole minute to weed if I did every bucket and all of that. So very simple, allows you to start out with gardening. Super cheap too. Dirt, bucket, plant. That's all you gotta do. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.